Peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Salute, peace, and power to the people of the struggle. Glorious day. Glorious day. Glorious day. As you come in, share. Let the tribe know we in the spot. Bright and early. Glorious day. Kenny Mac, ain't no what up, Slim? What up, Slim? Where you been? Black Queen. Are you a black queen to me? To me. What's poppin', Jason? What up? As you come in, let the tribe know you here. Share it. Hit the green screen. Trust and believe. Hit the green screen. What up, BK Knight? Insight? What up? Marcus, salute. CS, salute. All y'all in the building up early. Boy, that green, hit the green screen. Let's see cause damn it, it's looking slim over here. I'm not even going to hold you. But I had to come on because, again, people always question, always debate, always want to come at me sideways as if I don't know what I'm doing, as if I'm not well rehearsed and studied and researched when it comes to the application of this. Salute as you come in the building. Yes. What up? Bye-bye. Salute. Yes, AP Wiz. What up? Black Unfold, Regina. What up? Monroe. Yes, I see y'all. I see you. Leonard. What up? So as y'all come on in. Hit that thumb. Hit the green screen. Where my moderators at? UK's in the building. Salute. What up, trillionaire? Let's go. Green screen. Hit it. BLIZ 155. Yes. Trevor, salute. So look. Hey, Yvette. What up? Hard tongue. I'll tell you. Peace to all. Salute. Oh, yeah. YouTuber caught a bad one. But that is a direct message for them. Most of my tribe, hey, Mateen, what up, Philly? Most of my tribe don't even know this, the name, and I'm not even gonna put the name out there because, again, there are loved ones who may not know what transpired, and I'm not here to promote that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a gossip. I'm not here to bring the news. I'm here to educate and elevate, but that's on the end of the bill. And specific YouTubers gonna know exactly who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. And again, we have to understand the town is the town. And people not playing. Everybody don't come on here to play. And certain language triggers people. And when they fall back on their default, which is to activate, it is what it is. Supreme Man, peace. Salute, much appreciated. Listen, where my moderators at? We need to get the green screen up in there, direct link to it so they can, bless with those contributions to building our nation, which is the point of the title. NFAC dummy sentenced. And he's a dummy. And I've heard others make an attempt to switch their perspectives and their narrative on this individual, even though they had issues. I'm gonna speak to that shit too. But again, when I call these people out, Ballet, salute. The yard is in the spot. Yes, the yard is in the spotty spot. All right? Oh yeah, special agent. Yes, Raw Boss 301, salute. Tisha, salute. Let's get it popping. Yeah, no. Exactly, Supreme, exactly. And we may believe it's a cup. We're going to get into all that. But initially, when I made my presence known on social media, when I began to utilize social media for things other than promoting my written words, right? Yeah, CC. From the rip, I said this clown was a fraud. I called it immediately from, again, him popping up out of nowhere and getting this broad audience. I'm like, who is this clown? Very different from other individuals who utilize this to insert themselves in that. Right? Salute. Thank you for the donation, Jules. I'm surprised that people under the age of 28 do not know about the Million Man March. How can they? We'll get to that later on. I'm saying nobody's directing them to that. That's on us if they don't know about that. But anyway, I can recall people buying my books in the street, right? This was the initial title of my memoir, right? I could remember people purchasing it and reading it, and that was back in 2004, 2005 when I was out the trunk, going to Harlem Book Fair, Long Island Book Fair, you know, all these little outlets, running around with different authors, none of which was in my lane. All of them were urban fiction writers. Nobody really had a memoir, you know what I'm saying, based on actual facts. So they really didn't know how to assist me with getting it out as far as marketing and promoting. So I just had to do it on my own. I had to figure out exactly how to sell hand in hand. So while they was concentrating strictly on book fairs, independent retailers, you know, using MySpace at the time and, you know, different things, I was like, yo, listen, this is about me. So all I am doing is actually giving people who I am. And I'd set up a table anywhere. I'm out the trunk. I set up in front of a funeral home. I set up on a subway car in between the Brooklyn and Manhattan line, under the water, anywhere in front of a candy store. I'm going to sell. I'm not going to follow the conventional route that the institutions put in play. I said, yo, this is me. There's no faking here. And I'm not trying to outdo anyone else. But I talk. I'm transparent. So if I know how to do anything, is to reach my people. And I recall people talking about conscious community, right? Later on, this was about like 2000, maybe 8 or 9. Some of the youngins that read my book was like, yo, your book remind me of this one and that one, what you're saying in it. Yo, why you don't run with the conscious community? I was like, what the hell is the conscious community? You understand? I'm thinking the conscious community from the 80s in South Africa, Steve Biko and all. They was like, nah, it's a conscious community. The dudes, they have these, debates and, back and forth. And, now, excuse me, I'm learning about who Sonetta is, who Polite is, who, now the guys that I grew up passing by on the street while we was out and about robbing and stealing, who was just young, the Israelites, this one and that one. Now they're giving these individuals names and a platform, right? Like the platforms was created utilizing, social media. And, these things are starting to gain ground. But in the town, these dudes wasn't nobody at all. Keep it a buck. People walk past them like they crackheads. That's just what it was. No one, or it was a very small amount of people who really paid attention to what they were saying because of how it was being delivered, how it was presented, and it was on the street. So I don't care who you were. I don't care if you was NOI with a bow tie, Israelites, Nation of Gods and Herbs, whatever, Garveyite, nobody. There was a time nobody was paying that any mind. If, again, if people were engaged in that struggle, it had to be from a space where you had it in the home, right? You had to have it in the home, and your parents or grandparents was active, especially after the crack era destroyed everything. There was no space for people to be radicalized and have a institution to go to, unless you were specifically in those older institutions, in the NOI and in NOI school, right? There wasn't nothing, right? You had the Ansar community who again, you had to be in the community. You might have went and patronized the bookstore and, got different scrolls and books and, you had to be in it. It wasn't this all out. Everybody was engaged in the knowledge, in the information. Nobody was taking them serious like that, again, due to our oppressors feeding the people, right? I mean, literally feeding resources, programs, nonprofits, employment. It shifted the paradigm of how people viewed themselves and how radical they really, really wanted to be. So I could recall them, asking me about, so what is the conscious community? What is it about? What do they do? Where they at? He's like, nah, it's not a where they at. It's, it's just, people in that same frame of mind. And so I said, so it's basically some loose shit. I said, so how would I fit? And like, nah, you wouldn't fit because you a little bit higher order thinking and moving than them because you're actually doing this work. You're in it. But, you need to, find out. So, again, that's when I started, and not only me, but then you start getting into, Facebook appears and, after that, lives, Now you see people live. Now you starting to see YouTube. Now you're starting to, again, see the comrade, right? Forbes DVD and all this other stuff. And I started actually watching the debates. Now the information, some of it was right and exact. Well, the majority of it was right and exact. But when you coming from that space, and like I said, when it's in your home, and you actually have family members that's working and doing different things, you can look and say, well, that part ain't right and exact. And they not actually doing that, because you can see it. They have no direct tie to the people. So, I'm watching and watching and watching and growing. And because I jumped into the anti-gun violence movement, began to be more vocal on social media and said, well, let me utilize that to get the message across that I'm engaged in this work and that it's important. And again, I'm never alone. There's a direct group of comrades that are behind me, that I represent, that I have to speak with before I go into other levels, right? So I'm watching, I'm speaking more, I'm doing my little videos, my little lives and things. And I made it a point, because of how I was taught, to always look for people who claim to be in the struggle. So that's the point where I began to say I have to make sure that if I see anybody who are speaking in that frame, to not only check their information, but actually go to see if what they're claiming they're actually doing. Salute, Horace. Much appreciated for the green screen. I see you, Tierra. Much love. Thank you for joining and letting the tribe know we here. So I made it my business just to pop up. Just to pop in the scene. And what I learned is that many people who were on social media, who were using social media as a vehicle, were not even equipped to even act like they was doing the actual work. Again, being from the town, being from the Mecca, knowing only because I move in different circles who was actually doing what, as opposed to them grandstanding on social media. So I know that these same dudes who might have been out there, from the mid to late 80s through the 90s and into the 2000s, are the same dudes that would walk past on the street. Like, get out of here. Because they do not cause any ripples in the system. I mean, physically. Sometimes even mentally, you may catch a few, but basically they was moving like derelicts. But social media gave them ability to alter people's view and perception of who they actually were. And as the technology grew, so did the perception, right, of the audience, the viewing audience. Now, I don't take anything from them. To each its own. They will all either meet the goals that they set or perish in their own inequity. Because that's just how it is. You cannot play with people's struggle. This is not a game. King Dan, salute, salute. The Cash App, Bliz, BLIZ 155. Thank you in advance. You cannot play with people's struggle. Love to you, Grams. You cannot play with people's struggle. I cannot play with people's struggle. We cannot play with people's struggle. This is not a game. This is so not a game. Never has been. Never will be. When you have specific information, when you have lived and experienced specific repression at the hands of these people, when you have watched your people suffer, when you can see the PTSD, when you can actually visualize what is taking place with our people, you have to. It's only going to keep you so solid and moving in a space of integrity that you know this ain't a game. So I watch individuals and be like, nah, that shit ain't right and exact. But who am I? Nobody listens to Bliz. Back then, during, and now. So in the space where I made specific statements, gave direct commentary, and made the attempt to show and prove that these individuals were bullshitting. I don't know if they were agents. I don't know if they didn't understand what they were saying or purposely was misdirecting the people for their own personal gains. But I knew for absolute fact. Salute, Donald Haywood, much appreciated. I knew for an absolute fact that they would fall. So, again, because of my work, because of the sincerity, right? Very sincere, and because I come from a space of humility where I want to learn more than anything. If you know something and it's useful to our people, I want to learn it. I'm not going to rely on just the information that I was taught from my elders. I'm not going to just rely on the information that we have as a people. I'm going to go, or I want to learn. I want to learn. So I'm going to pull up on you. That's what I do. People were hitting me on Messenger early in the Facebook days. Oh, were you about that life? And I pull up. What's good? Right? Nobody was in getting monetized back then. No, none of that shit. And when you in this work, you'll realize, as I always tell you, there's no rewards in this shit. If I'm sincere about it, there's not going to be any wealth coming to me. Nobody that has ever engaged in this has become wealthy. If you coming from the true space, you either one, have people very fearful of even coming around you or being associated with you, or two, you are ignored. You ain't getting wealthy if you coming from a real space with this. If you see anyone come up, they're full of shit. Because there is no way, there is not any amount that I can get on social media that if I'm doing the work and I give back out to the people, that I can ever get wealthy. It doesn't work like that. It just don't. Our people need too much. Too much. I can go right outside my door and find someone in need. I don't even have to leave my house. Somebody will be walking by looking for a bottle or a can. There's a church at the end of the block. Don't give a damn about the denomination, don't know what, but there are people out there looking for clothes and all type of stuff. Always need help. There's kids running around. School age, they're supposed to be in school. Hungry, coming in the bodega with short money, not enough to get a sandwich. Aki and them can't keep giving them because they don't own the stuff, so they can't take the shorts. There's always a need. There's a single mother waiting on a bus or waiting to get in a dollar cab. There's just too many people. Absolutely. No way. So when you see these people, as I saw, exploding, boom, big audiences, boom. Back then they was doing the GoFundMes. Before it was a direct thing where people could just hear and give right directly to individuals. All type of weird shit. I'm like, hold up. Where's the work that's getting done? How are they rewarding these individuals without seeing any results? So I'm keeping my eye on them, and I'm telling you, I'm popping up on my Brooklyn shit. Oh, he gonna be there? Oh, that's what he promoted? Oh, he doing a little poetry reading? Oh, he's doing a little, I'm coming, I'm showing up. Oh, you mess with that one, y'all gonna be together? Boom, what up? Oh, what's good, brother? Yeah, what's up? How is this gonna benefit the people? What y'all doing? And always silence. Oh, salute, sincerely yours, much appreciated. Oh, y'all not really about this life. Or you don't, what's the end result? What's the outcome of this? Oh, y'all gonna do this again next week? Oh, and then y'all doing another one a little larger next month? But how are the people, where the people? How y'all just keep regurgitating the information amongst yourselves and trying to catch fish along the way. Then it got to a point at which it just exploded. I mean, it just exploded. And that's where we're at now. So when I'm watching Polite shift gears, when I'm watching Umar go through his struggles, when I'm watching Early Tariq and all these other people, the meat cheese, right? I'm seeing how Griffith's navigating in this space, pills, all this shit. And I'm looking, I'm analyzing, I'm like, okay, well, where they at when I'm walking through the projects in the Bronx, in Queens, in Uptown, Harlem, in Brooklyn? When I'm working, where they at when we in these political spaces? When I'm going through City Hall, when I'm going to certain trainings for other people who are certified in doing minuscule work, but yet they're doing the work. Not conscious and woke, but they're doing things that are specific to touching people where they're at and giving them at least a Band-Aid. So when I'm in these spaces, I can give more than a Band-Aid. Because of the knowledge, because of the consciousness, I can put a tourniquet on. Tell somebody, get up, let's go, keep it moving. So there's a purpose for everybody. But I'm looking at these people who are basically making a mockery of the work and performing all type of antics and catchphrases and all this shit, and people idolizing these motherfuckers. And I'm like, what is going on? So in my little space, in my little, social media, my little 400 or 500 followers, my little 1,000 followers, my little people, when I, get online, salute down, Dre, peace and power, please. Again, we know the mantra, moderators, let it be known. And I understand certain people's situations, but yo, listen, be more direct with how, you're pushing that. Much appreciated, but we're not trying to do that for the bankers. You dig? So now that I'm watching all this, I have to start speaking out against it. I have to speak out against it as much as I can, because that's what we do as educators. We look for education and we look for spaces where we can educate. That is the process of liberation. The dialogue and the communication, the comprehension of it. You understand? It has to be as such. Peace, Craig. Allah, peace, peace. We have to do it like that. So now that I'm speaking, I'm getting pushback. I'm getting pushback. A lot of pushback. Do you understand? I'm getting a lot of pushback. I'm calling out Polite. I'm calling out Umar. I'm calling out a lot of these individuals. Oh, you hater. You're a hater. Not hating, right? I'm in this space where I'm actually working and I don't see these individuals. But I see that they're acquiring larger amounts and basically getting an income for doing nothing. Fast forward to this NFAC dude. Now, I peeped this clown from day one. And from day one, giving clarity to who he, to who he is, I had to literally block my own people. Peace, Kevin, much appreciated. I literally had to block not only associates, not only friends, but family members who thought that this clown, that this derelict was about some action. So I'm watching, and I'm watching them grow. And I'm listening to the verbiage, and I'm watching the antics. Because if anything that anyone in this life knows is that armed struggle is the very last apparatus for us as a persecuted group. That's last. Though initially the mindset, it has to be first. But we are never, ever in a position to show what we have or our abilities. That is never an intelligent mode of operation. It's just not. When I tell you, excuse me, y'all, that I live this every day, and from this, right, with what Others, again, may read their Quran, read their Torah, read their Bible every day. Every day. And subsequent other material. I don't play with this life. I don't play with it. So when somebody inserts themselves in that space, of course, I'm immediately triggered. I'm going to call you every name in the book to get you to come on out. Come on out. If you about this life, our people should be able to witness this in real time, witness the benefits of it. Because you can't play with that. The people see that. So in the growth of this NFAC attention, because movement, it wasn't. People labeled it a movement. They labeled this thing something that it clearly wasn't. And again, when you are in that frame and may have utilized the bankers, you definitely utilize the propaganda machine, the institution of propaganda for visibility. I look at you suspect. We have to. We have to. The way they exterminated the Black Panther Party for self-defense, we have to make the educated assumption that any group or organization that lifts its head up with arms are going to be handled 10 times worse in this current era of social media. Because now in this space, you don't need much to influence people. You don't need much to gain an audience. I have 144 people in the building. 144 times 12 times 12 times 12. That creates a ripple. So imagine somebody being in a space and in a pocket of appearing on CNN, appearing on MSNBC, appearing on ABC, appearing on Fox, claiming that you're going to utilize the weapons that you have to move people to whatever agenda you may have, which really was never clear. The agenda was never clear. So I had to really look. Hey, Sean, salute. Divine truth of law, peace, peace, peace. Yeah, definitely gaming. Yeah, it was a mess. They were dropping clips, hitting in the air, doing all type of weirdo stuff. Again, when you're able to sit in a space that close to the whip, because when you're on broadcast news, that's not light. I have never been in a space where I can call anyone, even from our local news, Channel 12, and they're going to respond. No matter what work I've done, the organizations, the nonprofits that I was employed and working with, even they had a difficult time getting the attention of these media folk. Even they had to utilize the plug through the politician that was attached to us in the work. So when you are moving in a space like that, that intense, black people with weapons, mobilizing, something not right. Something is not right. And then you look at every space that they were in, just appearing, showing up, making claim that they were going to be somewhere, and they come. News, vids, all that. And I'm like, let's start researching this dude. So again, because of certain individuals that I have a good acquaintance with, some even camaraderie, I'm looking, and they're heavy into the research. Shout out to Taharka Bay and others who we look and we do our own research and be like, man, this dude ain't right and exact. So you speak out. And again, because of the idol worship, the personality worship that they get in is heavy, right? You get labeled all type of shit. Get trolled. Shit, they showed up at the Harker house in defense of this clown. But we stood our ground. This dude ain't right and exact. Showed how he's at major functions that you and I couldn't get security clearance for. He's in these spots. Dude is not right and exact. And when they finish using him, you out of here. So now, he's just in the mix, waiting. In there, waiting, and what happens? January 6th. Whoa. Something that we haven't seen. Not saying that it didn't happen prior. There always been these sort of armed attacks, whether it's lone wolves, small organizations, or themselves, right? Back in 1824, 18 this and that, 1860s, always, right? 1900s, right? 1930. It was always a generation or groups who have not been so eager in its patriotism. Always. And we've witnessed, right, some other liberators, right? Our Puerto Rican, our Boricua sister, Lolita LeBron, right? And their group. So we know that to showcase that you are armed and have verbiage that is anti-establishment, that the wrath is going to be on you. I don't want to say move. Move, 1985 move bombing. Move was organization that were on its face peaceful. We know the undercurrent, we know what they were about, but they weren't bothering. They weren't out there. They were not a threat the way Panthers were perceived to be, the way the BLA were perceived to be, the way all these other groups were perceived. MOVE was something that, again, was just an attack on our people who were living as they saw fit. They were babies and kids and women up in there. You know, it was different. Right? Nah, King Hazy, I haven't. So we learned from that though. We know that black men with guns is a problem. So I'm watching them go through these theatrics. I'm seeing these quote unquote demonstrations and rallies, but I'm seeing police barricades all the way along their route. I know what that's about because I'm working, I'm participating in that. Anytime you see barricades and police, they know your route. That means you had to petition for that. That means you had to have a discussion with police in order to get that out there. They don't do that themselves. Whenever you see barricades along a route in protest, the organizers sat with police to get that done, and police put that out. So you ain't anti-shit when you going in there and speaking and working with the officers of the law in order to make sure you are within a certain space. So it's not about always having receipts and documents. Because in this game, feds will make you anybody they want you to be. Anybody. They'll have a new one within the next few months. Shit, we don't know what the rest of them that are still around since he was around are doing. Y'all don't see these individuals every day. Y'all don't know how the feds play the same way they play with our brothers that's still in the street hustle, who they move from city to city, ratting and testifying on other individuals in the mix, utilizing them. Y'all don't see them one day. You see, yo, that's my man getting that bread. You don't see him for 4 months. Son, where you was at? Oh, nah, we was over here out of town. We was doing our numbers. Not knowing they out of town ratting on a whole different set of young black men in another state, in another city. Y'all think y'all know what these individuals who claim to be conscious and woke are doing on a regular basis? Y'all don't see them every day. Y'all don't know where they going to. I see individuals in my community every day get picked up by police in the precinct and sit their ass in a cell just so they can ear hustle and listen and put pieces together for people who come through there with crimes. They working. And then them same individuals will go with the local quote unquote police board, citizens and community people who are engaged with the police. These is the rats in your goddamn community. You think they won't use Tariq Nasheed as a rat, as an agent, to misdirect the people? You think they won't use Polite? You think they don't use these individuals as rats? They use Sharpton. They use Jesse. Who you think has that audience now? Jesse and Sharpton never had 1 million subscribers. Never had 500,000 or so followers on Twitter and all that. So of course, those who are the most influential, those who speak in a certain vernacular, those who have the attention of our people, you damn right they're going to utilize them. So now they get this dude who's appearing to speak to a certain demographic, who's ready to go all out at any given time because they armed up, because they sick and tired of our people being lynched, sick and tired of the man coming down on our folks, and we're going to do this and do that. Y'all better I'm telling you, y'all better be careful and be mindful of how this works. And every time it comes through, and what I've been saying for the longest manifests itself in reality, I'm not bragging, I'm not boasting, but I'm telling you, good riddance, cocksucker. Go get big. Go lift your damn weights. Do whatever you had to do in order to survive your next few years. Because, bastard, you caused more harm than you could have ever did. You had people separate themselves, distance themselves. You had people who really believed in that dumb shit go out on a limb and endanger themselves and their community, following a clown who was either one, again, misinformed, or never had the information to begin with, or two, purposely took up the space and time away from people who were really trying to find a path towards liberation. So I've seen others who I know had issue with them because you DM'd me, because we had these discussions. You understand? Because you inboxed me, we were speaking about it. Now they want to say shit like, oh, I'm not gonna gloat. I don't see, it's unfortunate. I don't take, man, fuck him. And whatever misfortune happened to him behind them walls, you harmed the movement. You made a mockery of armed struggle. And I know, I'm telling you, I know this is not going to get monetized. And I don't curb my language at all. He's a dummy. Whoever his handlers were, whoever he utilized, whoever utilized him, made irreparable damage. You know what it's like when they clown individuals who are radical, who say enough is enough? It takes years for us to come back from that. Listen, if you're only here for the Queen's incident, break out. I don't glorify nigga shit. We will speak on that. That ain't nothing new. You could get that shit from our son. He been on his channel as early as last week. We serious warriors over here. That's a symptom of putting your head in the wrong place. We dealing with true armed struggle here. I doubt it. If that's who y'all think it is, I doubt it. This was some regular old nigga. That's all. Who again was gaining attention. That's the whole essence of this bill. Utilizing social media and people running and believing and paying attention to shit that has nothing to do with where we need to be. We are so far removed from where we need to be. And there's no longer room and space for me to keep going over it and over it and over it. It's like they're going to build a new super nigga for y'all to pay attention to. For y'all to give bread to for nothing. There's going to be another one. Trust me. So now you got this whole NFAC and the language in the acronym. Not effing around crew. Really? But that's all they did was F around. They show up, they're out of shape. They don't know how to handle the arms. Formations is off. Clips coming out of... What are we doing? They made a complete mockery out of armed struggle. So now, I want to know which one of y'all are going to go get them. Because I said y'all was about that life. Said they was about that life, that action, that this is what our people needed. Just to show and grandstand. You know what? Not only is this corporation one of the most heavily armed nations that the world has ever seen, but their citizens are the most heavily armed group in the history of recorded man. Who in their right mind would put black folk untrained in danger like that on a regular basis? When you see these little white militia groups, these Proud Boys, all these people, that January 6th shit, those is doges. That ain't nothing. These people are armed to the teeth. They got 10 and 12-year-olds on a regular basis. They'll put a hole in your head from 2 miles away. 12-year-olds. Girls. And you believe just being armed and showboating is a way to black liberation, and you on TV with it, you on the news with it, with no doctrine, no theory, just emotionalism. Talking about they kill a black man. They kill Breonna Taylor. They kill this one. They kill that one. Nigga, they've been killing us since Jesus Christ. That shit ain't nothing new. Fuck we getting emotional about that for? They kill him. You hear me? Nigga, they killed Jesus. They killed America. They shot Malcolm down in front of his babies, the pregnant wife. Fuck you getting emotional about that shit for? Nigga, this is war. Been in war. Let me tell you about anybody who does not come from an intelligent, planning space of people's war. You got to be the biggest fool ever. So now that this dummy just got sentenced, what happens to the movement? What happens to the crew? Matter of fact, what has been happening, because I ain't hear shit since they was serious about charging his monkey ass. Where y'all at now? And thus, the hater has been proven to be right and exact. I love my people. Not with the bullshit. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. The first thing that need to be armed when it comes to people's war is this. You have to build the perfect hate of your enemy up here and the unquestioned love of each other. If you don't build this shit here, I don't care how much arms you got. I don't give a f. That shit don't mean nothing. Why you think you get trained in a military? What do you think basic training is? What do you think AIT is? What do you think? It's consistent. It's a consistent indoctrination. That they'll go 12-hour flight away from their home, their wife and children, to represent a flag that don't give shit about them. That's indoctrination. Our people don't need to be indoctrinated. Our people need to be taught how to reorganize this. And you will win any war. I will never have to show you not an arm. AR-15s ain't the only way somebody could get wiped out of here. I could show you 1,000 ways to kill a motherfucker. But if you ain't got it up here, this ain't gonna move to do it. Fat chicks in formation dropping clips. They ain't gonna bust that hammer. They ain't gonna do shit. And every time they went out, somebody in our community or somebody of us in one of their communities got their head knocked off. Police pulled somebody over. Somebody got fired at work. Somebody got sexually harassed in the community. Every time they went out there showing black people with guns, somebody said, oh, okay. And one of us got harmed. So while he's sitting in jail, got sentenced, and, you know, right now, you dig what I'm saying? His grippers is all tight and scared to death, or being reprogrammed in order to come out and do some different shit. I say mother F him. And whoever believed in him. Now, overnight, there was a shooting in Queens. Nothing new. We've been having shootings every day since in the 5 boroughs, pre-pandemic. Shit, I was in the work, since 2010. The city been on fire. That was my main task and mission: unnecessary gun violence. Clay P, salute, salute. Right? So, you know, okay, well, as soon as I'm off, DM me, we'll speak on it. I'll see what I'm able to do. So, I get the alert that there's been a shooting in a space in Queens that's, not known to have that much. In the past few months, there's been a couple of shootings in that area, but it's really industrial. Dude gets popped in the head and, subsequently crashes the vehicle and all this other stuff. Come to find out through certain channels that this is an individual who has been on YouTube, quite frequently, talking a lot of street shit. And, always in the space of these other individuals who speak a lot about being about that action, being about this, nigga shit, jail shit. And it's a shame that we are in this space where people use social media, to bang on their chest and make an attempt to seek accolades for things that they shouldn't have been involved in from the rip. And as I always say, the town is going to be the town. No matter what people may believe about this era, that era, how folks are moving and not moving, the 5 boroughs is still the 5 boroughs. And everybody not playing. Everyone is not playing. So when you're on social media and you trolling, you're on social media and you get into beefs, disagreements, and the things that you're saying is disrespectful and triggering, I can only hope that the individuals are moving right. The town is still a town. And if you move or you trigger certain individuals, they're going to respond in that language. That's just what it is. If specific people are in a space where they're going to dust them off the shelf, yo, it is what it is. So when people play games on YouTube, on social media, right? Because it's not on YouTube, it's Instagram, it's TikTok. Shit, people even talk crazy on Citizens Act. Very disrespectful. And anyone and anybody can be found. Now, I don't know if this was a random act. I doubt it. But I do know that after a specific hour, on New York City streets, you lunch meat. You lunch meat. There's absolutely nothing on New York City streets after midnight. Nothing but death, bad box, and jail. No one with any sense, no one. God damn it, the police and they shift don't even want to be out there. Nothing in New York City. This ain't the 80s. This ain't even the 90s. This ain't the old 42nd. This ain't the old Deuce. This ain't the old city where you keep keying and partying and all that shit after midnight. Those people that usually have no direction are only out to enjoy themselves. Selfish shit. Right, well, again, yeah, Black is Power, that is every hood, but I'm not in every hood in the U.S. Like, I just don't know. Like, I've been in all these other towns. Them shits be shutting down after 9:30. You can't even get a movie. Can't even get a movie. The last movie's at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So you damn sure after midnight is... So you were either lined or drawn out. You got caught, as they say, slipping, lacking, off point, whatever it is. I just know that the element, that the language that they're using, that they, again, are getting attention and monetized for and earning a few nickels from, is not funny. It's not funny. Yeah, but that's true, Jason, in some spots, but they don't be out there. I guarantee you, even the spots where they're gentrifying, I see them out there. Maybe 5:30 in the morning, maybe 6, all through 7. I guarantee you, them enemies ain't out there 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, walking no damn dog. It ain't safe for no one in the 5 boroughs after the witching hour. No one. Well, sometimes you could be in a damn Bradley tank. Shit is just weird after certain hours. So again, to the young brothers that's, again, speaking certain language, being engaged in a certain lifestyle that has nothing to do with your growth into manhood or your growth into being a productive member of your community. Damn outside and everything else. I'm talking, excuse me, I'm talking about your community, your home is going to come through and, yo, The prizes, man, are not good. It's not good. So again, I just wanted to lay that out and have an understanding of where we should be and who we should watch for in the scope of liberation movements, freedom fighters. Stop falling for the social media bull, all right? Be mindful of who you pay attention to. Be mindful of who you give resources to. These clowns are going to disappoint you. And then you will be very cynical of anybody else who comes and claims that, you know, they are here for the people's work. Again, I love my people. All power to the people that struggle. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. I see one of the tribe is in need. I'm going to figure out and see how I can best assist. So I'm going to cut this short. I love my people. Share the vid. Grow the tribe. And definitely hit that green screen. Hit the green screen. Craig Allah, Allahu Akbar. Dig, all power to the people that struggle. Right? Raise up the black queens. All good. Salute, salute, salute.